2 billion people are consecutively playing video games as you listen to me talk. Have you ever wondered why people are so addicted to video games? Probably not. However, the answer is more interesting than you think. So I would suggest that you keep watching. The game ever to be released was known as Pong, where a few pixels on a screen competed against each other in a game of two-dimensional tennis. After the success of Pong, many people started to notice the opportunity of success in the gaming industry, so they invested in it, which caused it to develop super fast, ranging from games like Super Mario Bros., Candy Crush, to Call of Duty. I can guarantee that most of the people watching have played video games at least once before in their lifetime. Whether it was on their Nintendo, their gaming consoles, or their PCs, and maybe even their phones. Or, all along, it was the game that was playing you. Any industry that grows this fast, this quick, always has its major negatives. You might be thinking that I'm the person who actually bought the game because it seemed enjoyable and a fun pastime. But the thing is, you're the one who bought the game. You're not the one who designed it. The people who designed it eventually take that friendly looking game and put so many codes and formulas and psychological tricks throughout after each objective, after each kill, after each quest, that you're eventually addicted to the game. This might seem friendly, keep playing the game and make it enjoyable for you. However, in many cases, that's not all that it does. Which is where I decided to put gamers in a few categories, starting with the denialists. These are people who play video games to get out of their daily life troubles. Whether they're not enjoying their life right now, they're sad, they're depressed, and have anxiety or other mental disorders, which gaming helps prevent since it takes them to a completely different universe. This might be caused by anything from not having a good family life to not having many friends, or simply being an introvert and preferring to stay away from society. This at first might seem as something healthy for a person, to escape his own reality and live in a reality where he isn't being shouted at by his parents, where he isn't forced to hang out with people of society, where he isn't being bullied by people at school. This might seem healthy, however, in the end, don't you think it's bad for him? As he gets addicted to that reality, he completely forgets the actual reality he's in. He forgets that once he shuts down his PS4 and goes back to his actual life, he'll have to face those worries some day or another. And it will be such a big problem that they won't figure out a simple way to handle them, which wouldn't have occurred if they were not so addicted to the another world or another realm sort of theory. Up are the type of gamers which I call peer pressure gamers, which basically means that people peer pressure them into playing games, which can be considered the same as when we call peer pressure drug addiction. For example, a group of friends at school are smoking. They bring cigarettes and they start smoking. And one of their friends is like, I want to remain healthy, I don't want to smoke. And their friends say, here, just grab this and smoke it once. It'll be fun, you'll enjoy it, you'll get a high. So he does it, he goes for it. He says, this is the first one and I won't do it again. And then he eventually gets so addicted to the high and the exhilaration he gets when he actually uses or plays the game. And the fact that he's also getting accepted by his friends is also a big part of it. Every human wants to be accepted by one's friends and social circles, his relatives, his family. So they'll do whatever they have to in order to achieve that, even if it's something along the lines of cigarettes or tobacco. This applies to gaming as well, because once you get into the gaming world, not only is it addictive itself, the peer pressure it causes is so high that everyone who plays the game gets addicted because of their friends forcing them to play every single day. Lastly, there are people who are in it for the high. These type of people enjoy when a certain chemical in their brain is released. That certain chemical is known as dopamine. This chemical is released in any situation where you're about to receive pleasure or a reward. For example, you're in a certain competition and the winners of the competition are about to be announced. You're sitting with all the people who participated and there's a judge who's about to announce the winners. That judge eventually says your name. You know that feeling you get of anxiousness and nervousness? That's all because of dopamine. When you actually get your name announced and you're heading up to that stage to accept your reward, your dopamine levels are at its highest because you're about to receive pleasure and a reward for something you did. This is what games do so well. Especially in games which are Battle Royale, for example Warzone or Fortnite or any type of those games, which have so many objectives leading up to one main objective of killing everyone in the lobby and winning the game. For example, you do one objective which is killing a bounty, which is a specific person that the game designated you to kill for money. Once you finish that bounty job, you feel so pleasurized because of the dopamine released in your brain that you effectively want to play the game even more and more and more, and eventually want to win the game because you know that it will help your dopamine levels to go to an extreme high, which will obviously give you satisfaction. Today, any person who's addicted to gaming could be put in one of these three categories. For me personally, I would say I was peer pressured into gaming. Back in the day, I really didn't enjoy sitting by myself and playing games. I used to prefer going outside, playing football, playing basketball, or doing something else, preferably outside with other people. However, my friends thought that gaming was so much more fun, so they got me addicted to the concept. We used to play on Steam, we used to play old games like TF2, Paladins, and whatnot, and it got me so addicted that eventually I bought my first PlayStation and eventually started playing on that with my friends, and eventually that peer pressure gaming got me into playing for the high. And now at a point I was so addicted that I used to miss everything around me playing games. And it got so hectic that I realized myself that I was missing going to the gym, I was missing time with my family, I was missing so many things just to play a single game that I bought. So I realized that I had to stop, and then I decided to make this video. Those people who think that I wasn't that addicted, just look at this clip after me winning one match of Warzone after trying for so long. Woohoo! Let's go, finally, man. Because at the end of the day, other people who tell you to just stop gaming or stop playing games don't understand. The way the developers made the game, they made so many psychological tricks and so many formulas that you can't simply let it go. So I wondered for a while that, is it only me who goes through this, or do other people too? So I hopped on a Zoom call with a few of my friends and decided to ask them. Here's how that went.
I would like to introduce you, but I think you would have a better time introducing yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Nail.
My name is Muhammad Adil.
I'm Mr. Rose Fareed, and I'm from Pakistan.
I am Ali Salim.
My name is Sheikh Muhammad Usman, Sheikh Muhammad Faisal Ahmed. I'm in 12BA, Group 1.
I'm not asking about your school profile. I was asking about in general, real life. You sat like you're in school or something and like, good morning, miss. I am from Pakistan. I like to read books. My name is Sheikh Muhammad Usman Razi Shibakhtaw. I'm just messing with you.
I've been gaming, I think, more than 7 or 8 years. I've been gaming. I started at a pretty young age because my brother used to have a PS2. I used to play some games on that as much as I could understand. But then PS3 is where most of my time was spent at a young age.
What games do you play? Like in general, like Rocket League,
VR games? Yeah, back in the day, VR games.
VR games. Yeah.
So back in the day, I used to play Fortnite, which I don't right now because no one does anymore. And it's cringe now.
So long, I should remember.
I know.
So I play PES, Valorant, Rainbow Six,
PC for now, mostly on the PC, playing GTA Online, using hacks because I'm bad at the game.
I used to play a lot of FIFA and Call of Duty when I did have my own console. And nowadays, I obviously like playing Among Us, so that's one of my favorites. And then sort of any game, now the only games that I play are games that I play at my friend's house or when my friends are over at my house, so stuff like that.
But then I
Like
do
FPS.
have FPS, but I do have role-playing games here and there, but I mainly enjoy
Role-playing, like
FPS.
which type of role-playing? Like getting into the mode, romantic.
Oh no, role-playing like Horizon. I played Horizon Zero Dawn, and then even that game, The Witcher. I love The Witcher.
Witcher
was
3,
a good game.
Witcher 3. That was good.
Witcher 3 was good.
Gaming addiction is an actual addiction that's recognized by WHO, World Health Organization. Did you know that?
Yeah, I think
before?
there's definitely addiction in gaming. 100%.
So the developers have these things inside games which like make you addicted without you noticing, like psychological tricks and stuff. Like in your own opinion, whatever it may be.
Well, I say that I'm of the opinion that you can get addicted to downright anything, okay? You get addicted to something when your life starts revolving around it. So if you plan gaming in the sense that I will be free from 3 to 4, so I'll do gaming, then you're fine, you're not addicted. But if you're saying, okay, I'm gonna be gaming from 3 to 12 and then 4 to 5, and then in the middle of gaming I'm gonna be doing something else, then there's a problem. And obviously, addiction has many aspects to it. So,
your opinion, like to you as a person,
No, I
do you
don't
think it's just
so.
fun?
Look, I don't think so. There's anything addictive which they add, but then it's more like a psychological thing. Look, because look, in the real world, like you're gonna deal with issues. Yeah, you're gonna have these stressful moments. Like all of us have stressful moments. Yeah, and like I think gaming like takes us to another place where you're completely free. There's no problem in life over there. It's a different reality. It's a different aspect, different world. Like everything is gone. You're just there playing your games. You're either with your friends. You're enjoying.
3 hours without me knowing, but then
3 hours without you knowing anything, right? Like just playing on, having so much fun, and like So do you think there's like some stuff that actually makes the game addicting that like the developers know what they're doing, or is it just you as a person who just loves games?
If I'm playing, let's say, if I'm playing any game and I'm playing it alone with no one in the party, then I'm gonna play for maximum I think 1 hour. But if I got friends to talk to and I have other people to talk to, maybe online friends which I don't know about and making new friends, then it takes a lot longer.
I had an essay due for the next morning and I didn't even start writing it, and I spent the next hour or two just grinding that out, and then I was so tempted to go back on PES, but I fell asleep literally.
Oh wow, so you missed the date, or did you like finish it?
No, I finished it.
Developers, do you think they're smart enough to like implant small details inside games? Like the answers I was getting from everyone is that pretty much they're not. It's just us. We're bored. We want to play games. So I'm trying to find out, like, do people realize that? Because the truth is, they actually do this. They put stuff inside games such as objectives or small details that ordinary people don't notice, but they actually do that. So like, have you ever realized this? Like,
I do believe that these sort of aspects of gaming do exist, where developers do try their best to make sure that people play their game as much as possible. That's just a part of marketing, right? So there is obviously a heavy level of research and development that goes into it. So you can, to a certain extent, say that they're trying their best to make the game as interesting and as playable as possible. Then it's up to you if you want to play or not, in theory. But in practice, once you get hooked, then it's kind of difficult for you to just stop gaming altogether.
You don't care about mental health. And then, if you're doing something that's gonna make you happy, of course you want to do it more and more. That's why I think it becomes an addiction. That's why it's classified, I think, as an addiction, because you continuously do it and it makes you happy. That's why.
And the fact you can talk to friends online while doing it, that's just like a plus point.
That much, because let's say if I'm not gaming, then I would eat a lot more. But because of gaming, I eat a lot less and I forget.
Well, I guess it's a lot different for me. You were in UAE that time, right? Or did you?
Yeah, I was in
move
UAE
already?
that time. And then I just gamed all day. I mean, I had nothing to do. Homework.
Nobody
was
had
going,
anything
I
to
had
do, so
nothing to do.
I was addicted, but so doing this like every single day because of quarantine and like doing it for like more than 6 months has made it so boring that no one like literally wants to play anymore.
For you personally, are you a gaming addict? Addict in the sense of like you put in so much, you give gaming so much of your time, but it doesn't give you enough back, and like things around you become less important. Like in general sense, are you an addict or not? Like, because you know what an addict is. You explained it to me halfway through the podcast.
I think before, I definitely was an addict. Where like there was times where like I had to play Fortnite. I enjoyed the game so much, but I had to play it. And I had to play like Black Ops Warzone to improve and everything. I think that's when you could say like I was an addict.
I wasn't an addict, but I did play them on a regular basis. But I wouldn't say addicted, because whenever I had something else to do, I would just do that. Right? So gaming was sort of my last resort, that if nothing else, then okay, let's play some games.
If you're a child, right, and you're technically playing all day, and your parent just tells you one day to stop, do you think that's the same as if you're a teenager or an adult and smoking cocaine or sniffing cocaine or doing any other drug, okay, and you suddenly have to stop? Is it the same, do you think, in many levels?
No, obviously not.
Let my guest end it off. Any closing remarks, anything you want to say, and just say bye in your own way.
Right.
To my millions of viewers, like from all over the world, I'm like the most popular podcaster ever, obviously.
Okay. I guess enjoy moments when they last, and not everything lasts as well. Just That's why enjoy everything you do.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Only comment that I would make is that if any of the viewers watching this, if you guys ever feel that something is getting too much, right? It can be anything. If something is taking up way too much of your time, please reconsider doing that, right? It could be anything. It could be anything from drugs to even playing too much sports can cause a problem, because there are other things to life. Life is not just about enjoying yourself. There's stuff like studying, there's stuff like work. You have to find that balance. So
Pretty, isn't it? Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
if you find that you are struggling with something, if you find that I'm addicted to this substance or I'm addicted to gaming, please do reach out to someone. Please do speak to people, because know that you are not alone.
Thank you for watching and subscribe for more videos, please. Thank you.
Hit the bell icon.
And bell icon.
We have to accept that gaming has become such a big part of our reality today. The fact that games are so widely available to any adult and children. Those kids who come up to you at parties and stuff like that and be like, "Can I play a game on your phone? Does your phone have the game?" Yeah, those kids can be annoying as hell. But the thing is, to their childlike minds, the psychological tricks that companies use are so well developed that they can't control themselves and they have to play the game again and again and again. Again, it's not only kids. Even adults get affected by their psychological tricks, even if they don't admit it. I'm saying gaming addiction is a bad thing. If you're growing up to be a gamer or a streamer one day, it's perfectly fine for you. At least you're getting the outputs you deserve for the inputs you're putting in the game. But for most people, they just game for the fun of it, to be with their friends and to enjoy the game. And those people don't get as much output for the input they're putting, for the time and effort they're putting in that game. So just ask yourself before playing another game, is it really worth it? Lastly, from someone who was previously addicted to games, I would say that you should discipline yourself from the very start. If you don't do that, eventually when you play the game every single day, you'll get so addicted that it'll be harder and harder to discipline yourself. So limit yourself to the amount of time that you can play the game, and eventually and hopefully you don't get addicted. If you do, that's not necessarily a bad thing. You can always stop like I did, but it's quite hard. And people don't understand why you have to play that game again and again. But the people who are addicted know that it's kind of necessary to play that game in their everyday lives. It's all kind of confusing, but hopefully this video made you understand a bit more about the concept of gaming addiction. Anyways, thank you for watching. For anyone who's still stuck around, I love you guys. And see you in the next video.